For math today, boys and girls, we're going to work on our shapes again. So last week we looked at some different things, different 3D shapes. We looked at the cone. So we practiced some different things about the cone. Remember, it looks like this. It's the one with the circle on top. And sometimes it's kind of easy to remember because it kind of looks like an ice cream cone. So we're used to that word. But a cone looks just like this. It can roll or slide, have a flat spot. And you're going to get to make your very own cone today. So I have Millie here with me this morning. And she's practicing making her cone. And just so you know, this is the template you can use. There's actually two templates. One has the tabs where you would just fold them down to sort of attach them. One of them doesn't have the tabs. It's up to you which one you would rather use. So you're going to cut along the outside and then you're going to fold it and glue or tape it together, whichever works for you. And then you'll have your very own cone. So I also had Millie get started on that for me, and she colored hers and she labeled it with the word cone. And then she's also going to partially cut it, and I'm just going to show you a quick trick if your child is cutting, and this is just a tip to help them with their cutting sometimes. Most of it's pretty straightforward, but it's when you get into the corners that it can be tricky. So go ahead, Millie. Let's see your cone. So do you remember what I told you about the cone? That's right. So as she works, I'll just mention what I've asked her to do. What I've done is I've drawn a little dot right about here, just a little bit in the outer part of that circle so that she can see. And what I've done is said, just stop at the dot so that she doesn't cut across. Because if she cuts across, of course, the circle will fall off and the cone won't have a top. So I've put a little dot and said, okay, I want you to approach from this side and cut to the dot, and then don't try to take the turn, but instead to go to the other side and try to approach from that side. Because working into the corner on both sides can make it, show them, Millie, much easier than actually trying to take the turn. The turn is almost impossible. So if you help your children with that little piece of advice, that tip will help you, I think. So now you can see she has her cone, her flat net, we call it, to make a cone, and I'm just going to use some tape. So we're going to flip it over, Millie, on the back, and we're going to just add some tape to one edge, like that. And then we are also going to put a little tape along the circle, and you can see that this is actually pretty much, if you use the paper with the tabs, what you would have, and instead of using tape, you can just glue the tab. So we're going to put the rest of the tape on, and we're going to, here's the tricky part, they might need a little help with this, so I'm going to do that for Millie today, and just for the sake of speed on this one, even though I'm going to be a little tricky here. So you can see, you roll it in like that, then you fold down the top of your cone, just putting those tabs sort of on the inside, and sticking them to that outer part of cone. And there you mostly have it. You can play with it a little bit so it gets a little bit better, but for the sake of this and for the speech, you can see she's written cone. There's your cone, Millie. She's very excited. What do you have there, Millie?
A cone.
A cone. Great job. I love it. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy.